Let God just speak to you today in His Word. I think He should every day, and He will when you listen. Day 80 was actually March 21st, so, it's the 29th today, but that's okay. We're catching up. We're catching up. Job 38, 39, and 40 is so ripe with truth and scientific just stuff. It's pretty fun to read. And of course, 1 Corinthians 13. So all about just starting with just Job. I mean, oh my gosh, there's so much in here. God finally has his chance to, say, okay, Job has stopped talking, finally. And I think that's one of the keys. We can't really listen if we're talking. We can't really hear if we keep having something to say. We need to shut our mouths and listen so that we can hear. God goes into this whole thing about, where were you when I created the earth? When I poured the foundations of the earth? Can you understand all of the stuff that I've done? First there was nothing, right? And then God spoke into being everything. There's no Big Bang Theory, but there is, He said, let there be light. And that's it. Science has never been able to prove anything else. Every naturalistic, pantheistic process contradicts the basis of scientific law. Causality, conservation, entropy, all of that. You can't have that. We've invented the most insulting God of all, that nothing was necessary for the creation. No one has ever solved the problem of the origin of life because it ignores God. It ignores Him, the designer, being the source of it all. So all of that, fabric of space, time, everything comes from Him. The overall subjects we can look at here in Job, you have the rotation of the earth, the spinning and pathways of the sea, the springs of the sea. Oh my gosh, that's where you get the whole nautical, study and everything. The breath of the earth, the travel of light, the dividing of light, the source of rain, the source of ice, the universe, its laws, the physical laws, all of that. Communication itself being spread throughout the earth. It's amazing. And why is there beauty in the depths of the sea that no one can see? It's all there because God can see it. He wants to enjoy it. Even if we never see some of the beautiful things out there, He is there to enjoy it and see it. That's what matters. So it's pretty intense, actually. He talks about the animals in chapter 39, just how insane, crazy the creation is. The different kinds of animals that he came up with. The ostrich, the horse, the pelican, the platypus. I mean, really, the platypus. It's like God just said, "Hey, let's make everyone laugh really, really hard at this one. See if they can figure it out." It's like, mammal, is it a reptile? What is it exactly? Or the ostrich, it can run so fast, and yet it leaves its eggs out in the open for anybody to eat. The camel, it's said the camel looks like a horse designed by a committee, and the elephant looks like a horse designed by military specifications. But the horse is great. Horses are awesome. They love conflict, they love competition. They are they're very special creatures in a lot of ways. And of course, dragons and dinosaurs and Job 40, you can go into all that, talking about different kinds of creatures that he brings up. There's so many questions in Job that science itself in the modern day has still not been able to answer. So it tells us a lot. It tells us that the Bible's not a science book. It's a love story written in blood on the cross 2,000 years ago. It's also a story of God's amazing glory and magnificence, more for us to worship than anything else. 1 Corinthians 13 is the love chapter. It comes right after all of those spiritual gifts mentioned, and it sort of says all of that is useless without love. You need love. You need the God of love to bring forth everything you have. Divine love. It goes through 14 different ingredients of love. It's not going to, it says it suffereth long. It means it's patient. Even though it's wronged, God's love is still, it's patient, and it's kind. It doesn't envy, it's not envious. It's not seeking for itself. It's not bragging. It's not showing off a parade. You know, Jesus never showed off. Everything he did was in silence or in secret, or he would tell the person he healed to not go tell anybody except for the temple priests, that you're supposed to do that. He never went out and bragged about anything. Okay? He doesn't behave, love doesn't behave unseemly, doesn't seek its own, is not easily provoked, doesn't become irritated or touchy. Moses was humble. He was the most humble person ever, and yet he still lost his temper when people got onto him. Jesus was never angry at the wrongs done to him. Even on the cross, he was forgiving the people who crucified him. That's us. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in truth, believes all things, endures all things, hopes all things, love never fails. That's how we want to be. We want to be the kind of people that never fail. Suffer long and am kind. Am I envying not? Am I being puffed up? Am I seeking my own? Am I thinking no evil? Ask yourself, put yourself in there. Instead of love, are you these things? Of course, obviously, we have a long way to go. Any of us do, to put ourselves in that place. To the degree of the difference and amazing. You can put Jesus in there in the place of love. Jesus is faith, hope, love, all of those things that we should aspire to. So, at any rate, the next passages are going to be Job 41 and 42. And then after that, I believe we get into Proverbs and finishing up Corinthians. Fun. Good day, my friends. Continue watching, please. Study, please comment, please share, spread the word of God. And of course, I'm just commentary. So you can listen to me. You can probably just watch a few seconds and was like, I'm not listening to this guy for. But hopefully you are listening. And hopefully you are gaining some wisdom and insights from it as well. God bless.